It's Thursday, and that means that the weekend is just ahead or around the corner. A good morning to you, cherished viewers. You are welcome to the Koko Digest Morning Show. I am your host for today, Yayura Awuno. We are coming to you live from the studios of Clock TV, and you can also catch us on Go TV channel 184. And if you're not in the comfort of your home, you can join us on social media, particularly on Facebook and on YouTube. You can send your comments to the live stream and also to the WhatsApp number that will be displayed onto your screens. And when the phone lines are opened, I will do well to alert us all. So now let's get into what we have for today on the Koko Digest Morning Show. On the lifestyle segment, we're going to be spending time with an Afrobeat artist. His name is Afel, so let's look forward to that. And also, in light of the Civil Service Week celebrations, we're going to be understanding the care hub that has been established under the auspices of the head of civil service, that is Dr. Agridako. So we're going to be trying to understand what the care hub has for us and what it means as a civil service staff, what access we can get, what are some of the products that we can get and services that we can get from the care hub as well. Now let's take our motivational quote for today. All right, so as we're preparing for the weekend, we have to motivate ourselves. We have to get some inspirational words here and there to guide us into the weekend as we prepare for the next week ahead. And today's quote says, "Good ideas are always crazy until they are not." Good ideas are always crazy until they are not. And this is by an anonymous inspirational speaker. And it's just to tell us that good ideas do not always arrive in familiar or comfortable forms. Sometimes they sound impractical, unconventional, or even impossible when they are first introduced. History is filled with innovations that were initially dismissed as because they challenged what people believed was possible. The fact that an idea sounds strange does not automatically make it a bad one. Instead of rejecting unfamiliar ideas immediately, we should be willing to examine them, ask questions, and consider what they could become with the right resources, timing, and execution. Creativity often begins where conventional thinking ends. At the same time, being open-minded does not mean accepting every new idea without scrutiny. A truly valuable idea must be tested, refined, and improved. We should protect what we have built while remaining courageous enough to question whether there are better ways of doing things. Growth requires humility to admit that yesterday's methods may not always be the best methods for tomorrow. Build wisely, question constantly, improve continuously, and sometimes the idea that seems crazy today is exactly the idea that creates the breakthrough we need tomorrow. So that's the quote for today. Good ideas are always crazy until they are not. So yes, if you have an idea, it seems crazy to you or crazy to the people you shared it with, sit down and, just question it, do some analytics and analysis of the good idea and see how crazy it is. And maybe, you never know, it could be the best idea for that challenge, for that problem. Up next is the online and print review with the weather reports coming from Peter Nsia. Let's stay tuned. You're welcome back. Now, the weather report will be brought to us by Peter Nsia, who's here with me. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Ariel.
I hope you're well.
I'm grateful. Divine selection. Another opportunity to
right your wrongs. Right. So, what's the message from the Ghana Meteorological Agency today?
Right. So today, I just want us to take a look at the video from the Ghana Meteorological Agency. When we are done with that, then we have a brief discussion.
Right. Okay. So let's take a look.
Right. evening, the people of Yendi and Tamale, GMET says there's 40% chance of rain, 40% chance of rain. And then the people of Boligatanga and Ndelerigu, in the evening, GMET says there's 40% chance of rain with a temperature ranging from 27 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. And so across the country today, this morning, it is mostly misty across most of the parts of the country. And then for the northern sector, as I stated earlier, it is mostly cloudy. And then in the afternoon, across most parts of the country, the weather is going to be variably cloudy, with the northern sector, which is going to experience sunny intervals. And then in the evening as well, most parts of the country is going to be mostly cloudy, except some 4 regions or cities in the northern region that are expecting some rains as well. And then before I go, the people of Ketekrache, Atebubu, Ejura, Kintampo, and God. So GMET says there's 40% chance of rain this evening as well. So please take notes and act accordingly. And the state of the sea today is rough. So Yara, looking at the reports today, it looks as though in the evening, the people of Atebubu and Ejura, Kintampo are to expect some showers of rain, and then the people of the northern sector, the people of Tamale, Bole, and Lerigutu are to expect some showers of rain. But the remaining part of the country is going to be variably cloudy. The morning is going to be misty and all that. It looks as though this time around, this part of Ghana is not experiencing the rains.
Yeah. You know, I think there was a time somewhere, I don't know if it was earlier this year or somewhere last year, where I think there were complaints about the northern areas having a lot of, I think there was a lot of dryness over here. The weather was very dry. So I remember some people, some farmers were also saying that their crops are not growing properly or they were not able to farm. So, I mean, this comes as good news, as most of the rains are concentrated up there, and it helps so that they can produce the foodstuff that will be distributed all over the country.
That's where our food basket is, basically. And then I think the background dam has been opened or something. And sometimes when it does happen, it spoils some of food crops and all that. And so conversations are ongoing to ensure that in as much as anytime they want to open it for the water, spillage, it shouldn't destroy the farmlands and what have you. And it has been there for a very long time now, and I think that with the help of technology and other engineers and all that, they should be able to know how it happens, so that anytime they open it, we don't lose, food crops and other.
I think I remember this dam spillage conversation. I remember suggesting that they get reservoirs or something that the spillage could be directed into, and that water can be used for other things rather than for it to come and destroy all the plantations and all of that. I mean, an idea is crazy.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So thank you so much for the weather report. Now let's take our word for the day. As we're entering the weekend, doesn't mean we'll not learn a new word. So today's word for the day is ambivalent. Today's word is ambivalent, and ambivalent simply means having mixed, conflicting, or uncertain feelings about something. Now, the deeper meaning here also talks about someone who is ambivalent may experience both positive and negative emotions at the same time, making it difficult to feel completely certain about what they want or how they feel. Now, the words that are similar in meaning to the word ambivalent, we have conflicted, uncertain, undecided, hesitant, doubtful, torn, hesitating. We have indecisive, equivocal, and unsure. Then the words that are opposite in meaning to the word ambivalent, we have certain, decisive, confident, determined, resolved, unwavering, assured, convinced, enthusiastic, and unequivocal. Now, a quick distinction. So uncertain means lacking confidence or knowledge about something. Indecisive describes the difficulty in making a choice. But ambivalence goes a step further. It specifically involves having two or more conflicting feelings or attitudes at the same time. Now, a quick memory tip for the word ambivalent so it stays in your mind. Think of ambivalence as being emotionally pulled in two directions. You can want something and also not want it at the same time. If you're ambivalent, part of you says yes, while the other part says no. Ambivalence is not always weakness. Sometimes it is the mind honestly acknowledging that two truths can exist at once. Yes, two truths can exist at once. So I think we tend to face that here sometimes when we are discussing some of the trending issues. Maybe the government is doing something. On one hand, we agree. On the other hand, we are not particularly in favor of it. Yes. So that's an example.
Truths can be.
Yeah, two truths can exist at the same time. Yes. Well, and two things can be true at the same time. That's true.
So there's a topic we'll be discussing.
Okay.
It's a perfect example. The legalization of commercial okada.
Yeah.
And so some people have the view that it's going to solve the transportation challenges we have in this country, and others are also thinking that it is going to create a whole lot of road safety, stuffs. And so it's a perfect example.
Right. So leading us into that, then let's get into the trends. I know you have something to educate us on, so let's get right into it.
Right. Thank you very much. A whole lot is actually trending, but my focus today will be on something, imperative. I'm not saying the others are not imperative, but before we even go to that, as we are still celebrating the Civil Service Week, a whole lot actually transpired on Tuesday and yesterday as well. And then there was a public lecture and then policy dialogue. A whole lot actually went on. If I say we are to discuss it, we won't get time to discuss. And all that I can say is that if you missed any of these two, just go to, just log on to YouTube and Facebook, just type the policy dialogue and the public lecture on Clock TV. You'll find it there, and I bet you won't regret it. A whole lot actually went on. And then just to say that the celebration is still ongoing, and at the Accra Sports Stadium, today is the last day for the exhibition. You can pass by, ask the hard questions about the 24-hour economy. All the ministries and departments are there. Questions, things that you do not understand, just go there and then they'll answer you. And also they have started, they are showcasing their work. So you can go there and then actually patronize them. And I know Benedict will be here to talk about today's games, interministerial games. That is my favorite. I'll be going there to actually watch. And so,
closer. I think you were you guys disqualified at the qualifiers? You guys didn't get to play, no?
I think they lost their last match. They lost to. They are not.
So they are not part of the finals.
They are not part of the finals.
That's sad. But we'll be back up next year.
But this year they did well comparing to last year. Last year they drew baby. That's just by the way. Right. So all roads leads to Accra Sports Stadium today. Yeah. So Yara, there's a legal battle.
Tell us about it.
A whole lot is
break
trending.
It down for us.
Yes. So you see, the Attorney General, the Chief Justice, the Ghana Bar Association, and the Supreme Court actually is trending. And so, as part of every year, the tradition goes on this legal vacation. Okay. But it looks as though this year the legal vacation is not vacating. There has been concerns about it.
Legal vacation in what sense?
Yes. So
all legal activities are put on hold for a while, or
yes,
lawyers go on vacation or judges go on vacation. Which is it?
Yes. So there's a conflicting. So let me just put it this way. So this legal vacation, it's statutory, vacation, and then it happens for the judicial system. It is 3 times. We have the long one that is from every 1st August to the last day of September. That's the 2 months, and we have a 2 weeks. Break. That is for the Christmas break, and we have approximately 1 week break as well, and that is around the Easter, Easter thereabouts. So we have 3 statutory, holidays for the judicial system. Under normal circumstance, this vacation was supposed to be for the judges because judges are always, sitting. They are always sitting, and so this is the time they get to go free themselves and learn and adapt themselves to the trending issues. They take some courses, some training and what have you. But it looks as though currently it's for the judicial system. All lawyers, judges would have to take some break, go out, visit family and do a whole lot of things. When it happens like that, some of the cases, that has been the bone of contention right now.
Right.
Now, the Chief Justice is saying that we have legal vacation, judges that are supposed to sit to listen to some cases and what have you. And that has, created a whole lot. We have slides, but before we go to the slides to have, a deeper, understanding about it. The legal vacation is for the superior courts.
Okay.
That is the High Court, the Appeal Court, and then the Supreme Court.
Right.
That is for them.
Okay.
But the other, district courts, they are still, working. And so if you have case, at the district level, you can't say you're on legal vacation, so you can't go. They are working. So it just applies to only the superior court.
So to be clear,
yes,
it is for the judges.
Currently,
does that involve the lawyers as well?
Currently, as we speak, it's for everyone.
Everyone.
But ideally, it's supposed to be for the judges. But right now, it's for, legal vacation for the judicial system. So the lawyers are involved. And the reason why it is becoming a problem is that, before Justice Bafuboni's tenure, when this is time for that legal vacation, some cases, some high-profile cases that involve politicians are put on hold. They come back to it after the legal vacation expires. Okay. But this time around, the Chief Justice has actually given the warrant and has appointed some judges to, continue some high-profile cases. And we'll be talking about this case. Why have I forgotten the case? There are some two cases that each and every, Ghanaians are looking up to it. It involves Atachia and Co.
Yeah.
Yes, so
it's not
Abdul Wahab, and then Edubuahen and his wife, their case. You understand? And so there was a hearing that their lawyer was not around. Atachia and Co were not around, and they were like they are on vacation.
On Untumi's case at a point.
Yes, he was on it at a point as well.
He dropped out of that also. Okay.
Yes, and so the judge has said that he's giving them up to 17th to produce a lawyer. If they don't produce the lawyer, it means that the defendants, that Adubuahen and his wife, they are going to do the cross-examination themselves. And that has been something that people are actually talking about. But then to get a better understanding of it, we have some slides.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the slides and we get to understand it better. Producer, if the slides are ready.
So while we are getting the slides, I think I would also like to advocate for a executive vacation for civil service staff. Because if the judges are getting, civil service staff also work all the time. Okay, now we have the slides, so take us through. Please.
Yes, so we have ahead. So what actually happened is we have Chief Justice for Bafuboni. He issued a directive authorizing selected courts to continue hearing cases, including high-profile part-head criminal trials through the August to September legal vacation. Now, let's look at what the law says. So the law firm's object. So we have Zoe Atachia and Co, the Dame and partners, and Sam Okujato and associate. And so these are the lawyers involved. And then we have the Ghana Bar Association petition. I told you the Ghana Bar Association, they're actually furious. And so they are saying that so this Ghana Bar Association, led by President Ifuagati, wrote to the Chief Justice on August 10, 2026 to formally protest. And then let's look at what is happening. The public raft opened. So the judiciary and the Attorney General's office pushed back publicly. And this is not usual. This is the first time we are seeing things like this happening in the judicial system. Please, the next slide. Yes, so what is the Ghana Bar Association saying? All that they are saying is that the Ghana Bar anchors its case in Order 79 of the High Court Civil Procedure Rules, that is CI 47, which sets a 2-month second vacation, that is August 1 to September 30, after the legal year's longest term. And so this is the time for them to relax and all that. And so they are saying that by long convention, vacation courts should handle only urgent, temporal, and exceptional matters, injunctions, bail, not for ongoing criminal trials. And so this is what the Ghana Bar Association is saying, that they should just handle only emergency one. And then lawyers who have notified the court of their unavailability, the Ghana Bar Association argues, should not be forced to attend proceedings during the recess. And that is a critical example when you take a look at the this man, what do I forget his name? And his wife, they are saying that their lawyer is not available. Adubuahen, their lawyer is not available. And so you shouldn't force him to come. And then when you look at the firms too, we have the Atachia and Co, Samoku Jato and all that. These people are also, part of that, and these people have been directed to appear in high court whilst they are somewhere, they are enjoying honeymoon. let's also please the next slide. And this is what the Chief Justice is saying, Chief Justice Bafo Boni. He's saying that vacation reduces judicial workload. It is not a shutdown of justice. So the vacation is just to reduce the workload on the judicial system, not just to shut it down. And then he said adjournment is a judicial act. The decision to sit or adjourn rests with the presiding judge, not the counsel. So it is not the counsel who is going to tell the judge that. So
the counsel here is the lawyer, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not the counsel it's not the counsel who is supposed to tell the judge that this is it. It is the judge
who will decide to adjourn.
And so a lawyer may only take leave if their own client agrees to it. You understand? And then we also have, so speaking in Sunyani in August 2026, the counsel cannot refuse a sitting judge simply by citing personal vacation plans. So this is what Justice Bafo Boni said. Okay. And so this is in response to the lawyers who are saying they are on vacation, they are attending to other staffs and that they can't, appear. He's saying it is not legal. And then we have Dr. Justice Shrem Sai, that's the Deputy Attorney General. He also quoted the Order 79 of CI 47, and that explicitly lets the Chief Justice appoint any day, including during vacation for hearing. And that is what the Chief Justice has done. He just gave a warrant to appoint some justices to go sit for hearing. Okay. So he said vacation judges may hear both interlocutory and substantive trial matters. So trials that are ongoing and then new trials and all that. And then we also have no blanket boycott. Lawyers with a genuine difficulty must apply for adjournment case by case. Okay. So you cannot just boycott and say that you are somewhere, you're doing something. You just have to apply for it. And then he said, this report was published on August 11, 2026. And he said that the claim that vacation courts never try cases is not supported by law or practice. Right. So please, the next slide. Now, a private a private citizen also tried to escalate the whole issue. And so a man called Elom Kwame Gonu decided to, take the issue to Supreme Court. And so we have the Attorney General. He named the Attorney General and then the Chief Justice. All that he's saying is that, so he's a legal researcher. And all that he is saying, he invoked the Supreme Court's original jurisdictions under Article 2, Clause 1 and Article 130, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution. And his core argument is that while the High Court keeps limited vacation benches running, the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court shuts down entirely for 2 months. So with this legal vacation, the High Court, if the Chief Justice gives a warrant for, some judges to sit, the Appeal Court and then the Supreme Court shuts down completely. So at this point, it's only the High Court that is working.
But this is not supposed to be what's happening. It shouldn't be shut down completely. It's just something that they have been doing.
Per the law, currently, what we have, that is how it's supposed to do. The two.
They are supposed to go on legal vacation, but there are some people that can be around to try some cases, no?
No, as it stands now with the law, you see, it is just the Superior Court. And then the Superior Court, we have the High Court, the Appeal Court, and then the Supreme Court. But with this, the Supreme Court and then the Appeal Court, they shut down completely. Just that it's the high court that has some judges to attend to emergencies and other things. And so his argument is that, please, can you prove? Yes, so his argument is that those two shouldn't be shut down completely. So he says this forces litigants to wait indefinitely, breaching the constitutional right to a fair hearing within a reasonable time. You see, this is 2 months. You understand? And so he's asking the courts to order rotational sittings or staggered judicial leave so appellate courts keep working year round. So is there, instead of this, I mean, there should be a normal, like what we have, like you work for 1 year, you apply for a leave. Within a year, you apply for a leave so that it will be rotational. And we didn't have like any legal vacation. It should be rotational so that at every point in time, people can have access to fair hearing and all that. And so the rules under fire is the Rule 61B, the Court of Appeal Rules 1997, CI 19, and then we have Rule 82, the Supreme Court Rules 1996, CI 16. Some of us were not born. Please, the next slide. Yes, and so that is it. Who is who in the dispute and all that? We've made mention of that. And so this is what is currently happening. And so people are saying that, fine, the private citizen actually made, a proposal. And it is high time we make reforms. We inherited, this is from the colonial days. You know, the colonial days, the judges were the white people. They travel all the way from the UK and all that to come here and have that sitting. So they needed more time to go and rest. And that is why they have that 2 months vacation. But times have changed. We just have to make reforms to adapt to our current situation right now. We also talk about the backlog of cases. And then a whole 2 months that judicial vacation, the whole 2 months. We have another 2 weeks, another 1 week somewhere within a year. And we are talking a whole lot. And so basically all that the Chief Justice and the Deputy Attorney General is saying is that, see, in as much as you're on legal vacation, it doesn't mean that there are certain cases you cannot hear. You can do that. The Chief Justice has the power to, get vacation judges to continue cases. And then what the Ghana Bar Association is saying that in as much as that is true, it only has to, hear, emergency cases and all that, and not cases on trial like high-profile cases like the Adubuahen and then the Wahab case. And so the MPP has also come up to say that it should be something that they should do away with. And so basically that is what is trending. But the most interesting aspect is that the High Court judge who sat on the case of Adubuahen and his wife, their lawyer did not show up. So he has given them 6 days. That is Monday. He says if their lawyer doesn't show up, those two defendants will do the cross-examination. But some lawyers have come to say that maybe the judge will rethink about that situation.
So, okay, I think I want to also ask that in the time of the legal vacation, quite similar to what we also have here in the civil service, where I think even on Christmas break, when majority of the civil service staff are on break, there are still some skeletal staff that still operate and keep the ministries running, all the departments and all of that. Do they not have a system like that where, okay, for this year's so and so time period of vacation, these judges are going to be set up to continue. Then when the others come back, when the majority of judges that are on break come back, then you take the next 2 months to also go and have your legal vacation. Is there not a system like that where it can benefit everybody?
Currently, looking at the laws, the system is not like that.
But because this legal vacation thing too, as much as yes, like you're saying, it's something inherited from the colonial times and based on the times and seasons, things need to be put in place. Right now, we are in a dispensation where crime or cases keep cropping up every day. And it does not particularly bode well for us if we have a judicial system or a system that's supposed to try to make sure that our law and order is also implemented or enforced properly, or even apply the rule of law. Now they are on break. So at this time, with this issue coming up that, okay, this is what's been happening, what happens to the people who are perpetrating crime? Will they not think that, okay, from August 1st to September 20th, no problem, I can do anything I want? Aren't these going to be some of the problems that could come up?
So the thing is that this actually affects people who are in trouble. Let's take, for instance, Adubuahin and his wife issue.
Yeah.
Now, maybe this is this is just an example.
Yeah.
Maybe he's innocent of all the crime and all that, and so he's looking forward for the judge to, pronounce everything, whether guilty or innocent or not guilty and all that. And here lies the case that
for an extra 2 months,
extra
no
2
word
months.
about
So
it.
it's actually go a long way to affect, the plaintiffs and the defendants and all that. And so that is it. And that is why the one who sued the Chief Justice and then the Attorney General is saying that it deprives the ordinary citizen fair hearing and all that. And so I think that, like you rightly stated, we should actually get some reforms. And like the example you gave, that it should be just an annual leave. So you go on leave, there's somebody there. But it doesn't mean that as they are on legal vacation, they are not working. Like I said, we have vacation judges.
Okay.
So the Chief Justice, per warrant, appoint some people that you have to be here and listen to, emergency cases and what have you. But this time around, the changes is that he says you can continue with substantive cases and all others. And here, like, the reason why it has become an issue is that because it's a high-profile case involving politics and all that. If not for the politics around it, I don't think it would have been something that we are talking about. Because apart from this, there are other cases that are going on. Yeah. But because it is a political, something, that is why it has become.
Okay, so this is my question before we go to the next issue. Yeah. So the fact that there are vacation judges, and you mentioned that this legal vacation applies to the lawyers as well.
Yes.
As there are vacation judges, are there vacation lawyers who know that, okay, even as this vacation is ongoing, I could be called up to work? Because from what we are looking at, even the Edubuahin case, we're hearing that their lawyer says he's not available. We're also seeing bits and pieces of people, some of the lawyers also saying they had vacation plans and all of that. So in this case, if there are no vacation lawyers, how then will the vacation judges be able to preside over cases successfully in this period?
And so the thing is that you are following rules and regulations and all that. We have the judges who are readily available. So the lawyers, if you have money, so it's about you, the one in trouble, you go for your lawyer. And then in that regard, so the issue is that they are using this legal vacation as a yardstick to say, oh, I'm here, and because of that, I can't be available in court.
So they are using it to buy time for the case in a way?
Yes. So the Chief Justice is saying that, no, it is not like that. Once you have a hearing, once the judge has said, I want to sit on your case, you have to make yourself available. And you cannot use the legal vacation as a yardstick to say I'm not available. But
these are lawyers. They can say I'm exercising my right. And
so you see, the most interesting part of this story would unfold on Monday, where the judge, I've forgotten the same name, who says that if Adubuahin and his wife, if they don't produce their lawyer, they will do the cross-examination themselves. So that is where
the case will still go on with or without the lawyer.
Yes. So Monday we are waiting for Monday, and that is where the question lies. So what happens if the lawyer
does not make himself available?
What will happen? And so that is where we are looking up to. And so I think viewers can also call in and share their views, what they think. If lawyers to actually well, that is fine. So yeah, that is what is trending.
Okay, thank you so much. So here you also have another story that's with regards to the pesticides and things that are sprayed on our foods.
Yes, so there's a video, something actually transpired at the Medina market. Let's take a look at the video.
All right.
So when we finish, we'll just talk about it.
Yemfasi jaso mi busampa ni mfuase se edro no hwan na kra ba oman no mu edro no hwan na kra edro no eba oman no yadigu makoso yadigu nyadwa so anioma bebre enti ye marketfo no ye ni awudifo ya baako because anioma no ya poison dada sa enuro no mpanimfo mo animu a ye hiobia mu Ghana. Yes, Slamo. baby a free baby a monsa manenko na yen sene ne ye adwuma ne tete mmeremu no ya hemaafo ni amusha ye me ye ne pepepe yesramo na kidri yare na aba no enam sanioma we so ana amana ba yesramo ahobrasiamo ya pamochon mumu ya mabo edro na magat ni ba won kwato mewusu.
We're talking about some of the chemicals that are used on our produce. And I love the fact that she has given each participant of this case, this issue, a role to play. There's an amount of accountability that everybody holds in here, from the importation down to the use. Because, like she said, the market women themselves to buy these things and spray the foods and stuff, because these are perishable goods. I mean, from what we learned in agric, we know that yes, if you keep your food, your weevils and all of these insects, all these rodents and things will definitely come to try and eat. And it also goes even to the farmers coming from the farm that does the same thing that they also do at some point, even while growing these crops and all of that. So now it's become a problem.
And I'm specifically glad that she has come out to let the public know. And so this is a very deep story. This touches food safety, regulations, enforcement, consumer protection, and traders getting more produce quickly. I don't understand why sometimes these are allegations. So we are yet to find out as to whether these allegations are really true. But then we've heard that they use chemicals to actually ripe, banana and a whole it's a whole lot going on. And so I think that, like you rightly stated, we just need the Food and Drugs Authority to come on board, because they are responsible for this, to ensure that some of these things, and then the chemicals, the importations, if we import these chemicals, maybe they are used for something else. Why is it that all of a sudden some of our market women, our farmers are using these chemicals on their crops? What is it all about? Is it that the demand for such crops is high and that they need to do everything possible to get them on the market for us?
Yes, it could be, because from what I remember, integrated science, weedicides, pesticides, and all of that are sprayed on the farms to keep the weeds from growing, to keep pests from also springing up. So sometimes you hear of maybe something infestation, or even the soil getting infested with 1 or 2 pathogens and all of that. But it seems that now they are spraying the final produce that we will consume with these same weedicides or pesticides, or let me just say chemicals, which is very harmful to us. Because I think somebody also mentioned at a point that there was a time where awareness came about how beans is preserved, and it got them. I think she sells something. She sells beans also. So it got to a point where sales dropped because hearing that they use, I think, something along the lines of cement and whatnot to preserve the beans, to keep it, to make the shelf life extended. When people heard about this, it made them also wary of coming to buy beans. Now, if we are also hearing that now, things like banana, immediately you buy it, how many people even say, okay, I'm coming to wash the banana? And even washing it with just water, what exactly does that do? If we are being serious, because all it does will be probably to wash away the more solid particles that are on it. But anything else that we cannot see with the eye, I mean, we even say that when we are washing our hands, we need to use soap and water because the germs. So imagine now chemicals of this magnitude, and you just wash your fruits with water. How many people are carrying salt? Look at us at work. Do you have salt in your drawer that now you will wash your fruits? And no. So it makes it very, very scary at this point that this is what we are facing.
Yes. And this is not just to, scare consumers or something of that sort. And as the saying goes, with every, rumor, there's an iota of truth. And this is a market woman, making this allegation. And so I think that we need to invest more time to look into these issues. And then not to clarify something in terms of growing crops and all that. I had the opportunity to stay in the village for a small time. They have some chemicals like the insecticides and other stuff that they spray on some of these crops, and it's not harmful.
Yeah.
But what we are hearing these days is that there are some harmful chemicals they are applying, maybe to increase the size. Sometimes you go to the market and look at some of the vegetables and the things that we know, the sizes have become,
extra bigger.
extra bigger and all that. And I think that, like you said, we have the Food and Drugs Authority. We know they are doing well, but they should pick up this very initiative. And then she made mention of some of the effect of these things. Already we are grappling with the effect of galamsey, the chemicals in our water bodies. And then if it also happens that our fruits and other things, our vegetables that we eat, these people are also using, chemicals, then it is becoming a problem. And she made mention of the cancers and all that. I'm not a medical person. I can't just say that some of these things can happen. But yes, so like I said, these are allegations, and then we need the Food and Drugs Authority to, conduct an investigation into this. But you see, like we are all saying, we've been hearing, and I know if you are to open phone lines, viewers will tell us that they know that this is what is actually happening. But what I also know of is the calcium carbide. They say the calcium carbide is often mentioned in discussions about artificial fruit ripening, and so this is actually ongoing. So we just need the relevant authorities. And I made mention of the fact that if it is pressure from the economic aspect, that people, the demand is high but they are not getting them, so they have to try all possible means to get these fruits to the market. That it means that government would actually have to play a role. And then if it is that people cannot actually preserve their fruits and vegetables, and that it goes bad within a short period of time, and because of that they are using chemicals to preserve them, then it means that government would also have to provide a whole lot in terms of agriculture and all that, storage facilities, construct roads, and so it's a whole lot.
Are just too much. Because I think an extended part of the video, she talks about an experience with someone who bought bananas for their child and then decided to take some. After a while, the person called her and said their stomach was hurting. So she recommended mixing charcoal with what I think activated charcoal or something. And that was a clear incidence of some sort of poisoning, So I think there's a lot that needs to be done. And yes, there was a time Nanaya was here, he also mentioned that our post-harvest is terrible. We haven't reached that level because as of 2026, you harvest your crops, and if you are not able to transport it or send it to be sold, it will just go bad near you or in your home. I think we even saw a cocoa farmer's wife at a point who was complaining, and this is terrible because we are the ones consuming it at the end of the day. But
and not even to speak for governments. As part of the 2026, media budget review, there has been some fund allocated to, construct routes to connect, the roads to the urban centers, so that farmers can actually bring their produce to town to avoid the post-harvest losses, so that there will be, food crops in market. And
right. Thank you so much. And yes, this brings us to the end of the online and newspaper print review. Up next is a lifestyle segment, so let's stay tuned as we spend time with Afel. Like you have an amazing voice.
Well, thank you so much.
And it's a really beautiful song. That was Akwadu featuring Dako Vibes,
yeah.
right? Okay, so take us to the beginning. What drew you to music?
I grew up listening to my mom sing every time.
Okay.
You know, and I think, I don't know how to say this, but it's like I'm from a music family, but it's not a music family.
Okay.
Because almost everyone sings, you know. Yeah, so grew up singing in church, listening to gospel songs all the time because my mom is a gospel artist. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's how it started for me. That's where the inspiration started.
So from childhood, you were exposed to music.
Yeah.
Okay, I see you are doing really well in the Afrobeat genre. Do you have other genres you've dabbled in a bit?
I used to rap.
Oh, you used to rap.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I used to
Give
do.
us freestyle.
No, the rap.
Okay,
Yeah, I used to rap.
come later, right?
I used to rap. I did R&B. You know, I was doing a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Before I found like my sound on Afrobeat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with being an artist or a musician, especially looking at the current music industry, what does authenticity mean to you?
The people consuming the songs, they want to like listen to your story. They want something to relate to. So if you are just going with the trends, the vibe, people are actually not going to connect with your songs. So being authentic, that's very real to me. Like I really keep that like, it's something that's in my head all the time. When I'm writing, when I'm shooting, I have to be real. I have to be authentic to my people. Yeah.
Okay. So how would you describe your music to someone who has never heard of Afel?
Sweet.
Sweet. Yes,
Yeah.
that's actually an accurate
sweet.
description.
Yeah.
So yes, Afel describes his music as sweet, and I totally agree. I love your voice. I think when we finish, you serenade me one last.
Oh, you see, sweet. Akwadu. Banana is sweet, so. Yeah.
Okay. So now let's come to Akwadu. What's the story behind the song? You said you were praising a girl for, one or two things, but please take us a little deeper.
I write songs based on experiences.
Okay.
And maybe we came to this interview today. I can go back home. The way you're looking fine like this, I can go and write like 3 songs. You know?
3 songs?
Yeah.
For
So
me.
Akwadu is like from an experience I had with a lady some time ago. And I told her that she was the best. Like, that was the best experience I've had in a very long time. Yeah. So basically, that's it.
Okay. So is there any lady that is second best at the moment, just for our ladies watching?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Okay. So what's one thing, I mean, you've said that you were praising a lady, so this is something that can be used in a romantic sense.
Yeah.
But aside that, is there anything else you think that people listening can take away from the song?
You see, girls can be very, sometimes ladies can be so sweet to the extent you'll be like, wait, oh. Asantini Beka said, Bunsam no asuma, because like sometimes you can't even think. Yeah. So it's about like actually telling a girl how she makes you feel every time she's around you. Yeah. That's basically what
So, my gentlemen, if you want to show that girl what she means to you, just how sweet she is.
Play Aquadu.
Yes, play Aquadu
Yeah.
featuring Aku Vibes. Let her know that, yeah, she's the sweetest.
Exactly.
Okay. So how much do these platforms like TikTok and Instagram, how much pressure is there to release music all the time with those platforms?
There's a lot of pressure. More than 1,000 videos. I can't even say 1,000. Like it's more than that.
Okay.
Like times 10. The industry is now very saturated.
Yeah.
Everybody is releasing songs every single day. That's when being authentic comes in.
Yeah.
Because now you separate yourself from the crowd. Yeah, you give the people what they want. People want to see like your my guy JC Production was telling me like this morning that you have to like relate with the fans, which is something I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
No, it's not.
But gradually we are going to grab that audience and they are going to understand what the Afel brand is about. So yeah, TikTok, Instagram, you just have to be different. I think that's all. Yeah. And just have fun. That's all.
Yeah, let's have fun. So what's one of your most memorable experiences with some of your fans? If you have any, can you share?
Hey, this day, I think my first show,
Okay.
I did my first show at Dansuman. That was A Night in Paradise last year, November. And the crowd, like I was very, very like shocked because I wasn't expecting it. I was going to that stage that day. I was like, okay, I just, I'm coming up and stuff. So it's going to be a normal show. The place was packed till like 3 a.m. The place was still packed for me. I was like, bro, is this Shatawale coming? Like, hey.
Wow, so a very large crowd. But have you had any one-on-one experiences with fans where maybe you're out there in public and then someone is like, yo, I fell, and rushing you with something?
It surprises me sometimes because it happens like anytime I go out. I can be walking at Circle right now, so I'll be like, yo, bro, I see your video continue. Like, I get those things a lot. And it makes me, like, it motivates me to do more each and every day. Because some years back, nobody was recognizing what we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it motivates me, inspires me to do more, to be myself too. Yeah.
So I know of two other songs that I like. That's the Kilimanjaro and then the Paradise. Can you, tell us a little bit about what went into those songs, what inspired those two songs too?
Kilimanjaro. That's a very, very strong song because I was trying to tell people my position. Even though the Afel brand is not that big worldwide, but I was trying to let people know my position in the industry, like what I'm coming for.
Right.
Like I'm coming for that.
The top.
Yeah. I'm coming for it. Yeah. So that's about Kilimanjaro. And when we come to Paradise like Aquadu is like Paradise too.
Okay.
Just like that.
So Paradise is also another way to serenade your girl.
So they give you JJ.
I see. Okay, now let's come to your creative process. So walk us through how your songs come together. I mean, you did mention that even after this interview, I could inspire 3 songs, which I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
But yes, how does your workflow look like from idea all the way to execution?
It's not like a certain type of way. It always comes in different ways.
Different ways, okay.
See the way God blesses people, like different ways. Your helper can be a cleaner in some hotel. You see him or her, you disrespect him or her, or you respect him or her. That can be your helper. You never know. So me creating music, I can be working with my friends, and a vibe will come.
Okay.
I can be sitting. Sometimes I can be in church, and I'll be writing songs. Yeah.
Okay.
So it comes in different ways. Different ways. So I just pick the inspiration and work with it and finish the song.
So with that, does that mean that at every point in time you have like a notebook ready to just jot down some lyrics?
Just my phone.
Your phone.
Yeah.
So if we steal your phone right now,
hey, hello.
gold mine of songs.
I remember some time ago, my friend lost my phone. My friend lost my phone and it was like over 300 songs on it. For real.
But
I
were you
even
able to
tweeted
retrieve
it.
them?
No.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
so I
sorry
had
to
to.
hear that.
You see how God blesses people. Even though I lost those songs, I thought those were like my bangers. I'm dropping Paradise, Kilimanjaro, Aquadu. You know, they're still working.
Yeah, it's as well. And I mean, that it turned out for good in any way.
Yeah.
So now coming to even with the spotlights, looking at how you even mentioned that the performance in Dansoman, there was a lot of people there, and you were even shocked all the way to 3 a.m. What has been the hardest part of building a career, especially in this industry?
The hardest part for me right now, I think I'm still learning though, but the hardest part for me right now is trying to push yourself, trying to promote yourself, because now the industry is very like open now, you know, it's very open and there are a lot of investors. So now you being an independent artist right now, pushing yourself is going to be very, very difficult. So I'm even sitting on this platform. Anybody who wants to sponsor their full brand, I beg.
Yes.
We did here. We are very ready. Like we are ever ready to like work, and it's going to like work out.
Right.
Yeah. So I think promoting yourself, marketing yourself, because you are competing with like top artists. It's not like before.
Yeah.
The industry was very small. Now it's open. Now when you drop a song, it's going to UK. When you drop a song, people can hear in USA. Yeah. So I think that's the challenge right now for us,
Yeah,
like
the
my team and I.
promotion. Okay.
Yeah.
So have there been any other artists you've worked with or you're looking forward to work with?
I've worked with a lot of artists. Some we've not dropped the songs.
Okay.
Yeah, some we've dropped. Shout out to Essay, you know, Seal Beats, a producer. We dropped like a song, his song. And, you know, my producers too, Ugly and Tough, shout out to them. Yeah, and I've worked with a lot of artists, even with my people, Grey Ink.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
All
a
right.
whole
So
lot.
moving forward, are you looking to work with people who are also big in the Afrobeats industry?
Of course.
Okay, so which ones do you have your eyes on? Maybe they are watching so that they'll hit you up.
Yeah. Bado.
But
They come for Lamide. And I really love Fireboy. Fireboy, Ashake, Black Sheriff, a whole lot of artists. RDJ. I can work with the whole industry.
No,
I'll just
okay.
blend in with everyone. Yeah.
Right, then it means that you're very versatile. So
Yeah.
now coming back to you, aside music, what does Afel do?
Side music. You say I feel it's also like, I can say I'm a businessman because
Okay.
the music is business. You know, we are dropping songs day in, day out, shooting content, but it's still the business side of it.
Yeah.
So I can say I feel it's a businessman.
So you're also a businessman.
Yeah.
yes,
I used to
promotion.
dance though.
Oh.
I used to dance.
And what happened?
I think I was, you know, when you have too much passion for two things and you have to like relax on one before like one takes off, then you bring it back. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I would ask you this, this question, more of an inspirational question, in that people talk about talent and hard work and one is better than the other. Some also say you need both. What do you also say?
Talent and what?
And hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people say talent overrides hard work. Some people say hard work overrides talent.
I think both.
Both work.
Because when we talk about like the GOATs in football right now, Ronaldo, Messi,
Yeah.
he said one works hard, one is talent. You know, both goes, like both goes. So whatever works for the person. Yeah.
Okay, so again, how do you also stay consistent with your music as well?
I just focus on the goal,
The goal.
every time. Why I started this, I stay grounded. I don't like let any pressure get to me.
So it's at your own pace.
Yes, at my own pace. No pressure at all.
Now, so aside, performances and the rest, do you have any other ways you stay connected to your fans? Do you do maybe Instagram Live or TikTok Live where people get to
I go on
interact
live
with you?
sometimes.
Okay.
I go on live
And
sometimes.
how is that experience like?
when I started, it felt weird, but yeah,
With time.
yeah, because it feels weird talking to the camera, but that's what we signed up for. So, yeah, and I think sometimes when I host shows or my manager hosts shows, shouts to Mr. Nonyam, we just connect with the fans there because they are always coming around. When anybody around me is doing something, they come around.
Okay. So, with the way the industry is, I think you would be best to probably educate us a little. How do these brand deals and I think signages come on? How does it work?
Is it brand deals like
Becoming a brand ambassador and things like that. How does
because
it
I
work?
thought you were talking about the label aspect.
Yeah, the label aspect too also comes in. But I'll ask that after the brand ambassador.
Okay. So I think the brands they reach out to you when they see that you can do something for them.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why as an artist I'm always pushing to get to make my catalog very, very strong. Yeah. Because they watch that and they come to you.
Yeah.
Because it's money that's going into you. And what are you going to give them? What's your value? Yeah. What's your value? As an artist, you have to have leverage. Otherwise, you are not going to survive in this industry.
Okay. So what about the label side?
I think it's the same thing. They have to see something, they have to see numbers. Now they don't groom artists anymore. Nah.
So you have to do it on your own.
Yeah, you have to groom yourself. There's no developing stage. Now I see this guy blowing on. Okay, he can give us numbers. The numbers will bring money. Yeah, let's go for him. Let's see. Let's listen to some songs and see how it goes. Yeah. So I think it's the same thing with the brands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have any OGs in the industry that are, that you go to for wisdom and guidance every now and then?
OGs.
Yeah.
In the industry.
Yeah.
They are giving me advice?
Yeah, you go to them, you've been in the industry for a while, so I'm here, I want to do this and that, and then some guidance. Do you have people like that?
I think Darko has been giving us advice.
Okay.
Yeah, J Derby. A lot of people are in the industry who support. When I meet them, I talk to them. They actually encourage me to push on. They give me some tips and that. So yeah, it comes. I don't remember the rest, but yeah.
Okay. So that being said, do you also then have some of these OGs that you look up to? So even though you may not be in contact with them, they inspired you from a distance?
Let's not even talk about OGs, right? Let's talk about artists.
Yeah, the artists, OG artists who have been in the industry for a while.
A while. What if I told you the reason why I started Afrobeat was because of Fireboy? Yeah.
Yeah, Fireboy also makes really good
music. But when I was also a teenager, I remember entering my mom's room and the TV was on. They were playing music. There's this Wizkid music video. He was in front of a plane. I can't remember the song, but I remember I was like, no, this guy is so young. I can do it. I think that's also part.
Okay. Yeah, Wizkid has been around for a while.
Very, very long time.
It makes sense that he's also part of your inspiration because, now the world is, the African setting, we're going towards Afrobeat and all of that. So it makes sense. And you did mention that you dabbled a little bit in R&B. Should we expect something R&B from you?
Definitely. Definitely. I think if I make an album, it's going to be crazy. I won't lie to you.
So when can we expect the album? Don't be like Rihanna that will not get an album.
Oh, no. You can get the album next year.
Next year. Okay. So I'm sure viewers are taking notes. Next year, we are looking forward to an album from Afro. Okay. Now, I think wrapping up, where do you see yourself in the next few years? This is a question that everybody would ask you.
Next few years. I think I see myself growing as Afel. I see my brand expanding, trying to connect with more fans around the world, performing on the top stages. Because definitely Afel is doing that O2 very soon.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I think it's up from here. Because if I want to mention, we are not leaving here today. It's up from here. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, lastly, I think my next question would be that if you have anything to say to your fans, what would be the one thing you would want people watching to remember you for on the show today?
I made them feel something. Yeah. Always from my music, like I listened to Afel and I felt something. You know, I something left my shoulders. Even though Afel is singing about Akwadu, but something is still leaving your shoulders during Akwadu season. So yeah, I want them to remember that Afel made them feel something. Afel actually, when they listen to Afel, it's like they are escaping from their problems. Like they have a voice now.
Okay.
That's how I want people to remember me for.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. So Afel says, whenever you listen to his music, you should feel like something is being lifted off of you. Now, where can we stream your music? Where can we find your music?
All platforms.
All the platforms. So, what's the name we should put in there? Is it Afel GH, Afel Music? You know, some of these specifics matter.
AFEL on all music platforms.
Okay.
And Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere is Afel Music.
Okay.
And my fans should also feel very happy when they listen to my music.
Beautiful.
If you don't feel happy when you go and listen to my song today, call me, I'll go dash you money.
Okay, so yes, this has been time with Afel, and you can't leave the studio without performing Akwadu for us. So
all for you.
Yes.
Okay. You're wearing yellow.
Oh my goodness. Right, so let's get into this. So yes, let's enjoy Akwadu by Afel featuring Daco Vibes. See you soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Welcome back, and we have our birthday segment up next. And yes, we have one birthday celebrant to celebrate today. So let's take a look.
I heard today was your birthday.
So this is to Janet. I'm grateful to God for adding another beautiful year to your life. It has been a pleasure watching you learn, grow, and improve. May God bless you with wisdom, favor, creativity, and greater opportunities. Keep learning, keep growing, and never give up on yourself. I am proud of you. I pray this year brings you abundance, blessings, and joy. This is from your boss, Kekeli. So yes, this is our birthday celebrant for this week. Please do send your wishes, your warm wishes to your loved ones or to us here on the WhatsApp number or to our YouTube and Facebook live stream. We'll read them when we have the birthday segment. Now, up next is the sports segment with Benedict Nkiti. Stay tuned.
Good morning and welcome back to the Sports Update segment on your favorite morning show, the Koko Digest Morning Show. And you know, here as usual, bringing nothing but the best in the world of sports, and we are covering all the action, both local and international. And of course, yes, today is the day the Lord has made. We are here with you on your favorite morning show, the Koko Digest Morning Show on Clock TV. Yes, and today, yes, we are going to talk about sports. We are going to dive into what has been happening. And I wish my panelists, unfortunately, I wish my panelists were here with me today to discuss, some issues, because we have an agenda on the table. We have a very big agenda on the table. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my other co-host, my other sportsmen with me, but I'll try and as much as possible to do justice to what we have, and then hopefully when I get them, we can dive into it deeply and then better for our viewers to enjoy. Now, yesterday, something happened. Yes, there was a game, the Super Cup. Yes, the Super Cup is between the Champions League winner and the European League winner. So we had PSG playing against Aston Villa yesterday at the Red Bull Arena. So Red Bull Arena is a neutral ground for games such as this. So yesterday they had to play the UEFA Super Cup competition, and then it was quite interesting because we've seen the quality PSG has possessed during last season, and we saw the quality Aston Villa possessed during the European competitions. And there was a difference because it is assumed that when it comes to football competitions, European League, the Europa League, so automatically you winning the Champions League means you have better quality than the Europa teams and the team that won the Europa League. But yesterday, I think we all had a different perspective right after the game, because we saw a different kind of quality being displayed by the Aston Villa boys. They played very well. They played their hearts out. Now, mind you, PSG is building a very impressive team. PSG is building an impressive team. And then the game that went on, you could tell that the Aston Villa boys, they meant it more than the PSG boys. Now, this is the highlight of what happened yesterday. Let us enjoy it, then I can talk about it afterwards. Yes, so that was the highlights of the just ended Super Cup final that happened between PSG and Aston Villa, and we saw PSG emerging winners by scoring 2-1. First goal scored by Kvaratskhelia, and then Majo coming out to equalize in the first half of the game, and then of course Desiree Doué came to score the winning goal for the Parisians PSG team. So the PSG team came out to win 2-1, and this is their second sextuple. Yes, this is the second time they've won 6 trophies in a year. So we can actually see that PSG is actually on a different run this time around, this time of century, this time of football, and hopefully next season we are going to see a better side of PSG, because it's evident in the kind of signings they are doing. They are signing backups for most of their players, and then it's going to be an interesting competition next season, God willing. And we are all here we are going to enjoy what is going to happen. Hopefully we see a better side, someone who can equally challenge PSG on the level they are on. But all the same, let's move on to our stories for today. And our stories for today, they are quite interesting. First of all, we are going to start with local story. And then, during the World Cup season, Ghana Black Stars, we after the World Cup, right after we were eliminated from the World Cup, there was a story trending that the coach of the Ghana Black Stars, that's Carlos Queiroz, the Portuguese coach, is set to resign or retire from resign from being the manager of the Ghana Black Stars team. And then later on it came out that it was actually false. But now we have a story that is trending. If GFA has revealed that the sports ministry rejected Carlos Queiroz's $150,000 monthly salary demand to extend stay as Black Stars coach. So yes, just as the headline is saying, so GFA, that is the Ghana Football Association, has rejected an offer by Carlos Queiroz to increase the salary from $80,000 to $150,000 monthly, in order, if we want him to extend his stay as the Black Stars coach. And I think I don't want to comment on the coach's experiences and what this money will do for him, but I think it is quite high when it comes to monetary wise, salary for a head coach for the Ghana Black Stars. I think something could have been done. There could have been a better negotiation that would have been done to rectify or make this situation calm, because 150,000 is quite huge for the Ghana Black Stars. So due to this, I think the GFA came out that they are also again back on the market to look for a manager for the Ghana Black Stars team, since Carlos Queiroz's demands can't be met, because $150,000 is quite huge for the association. And then it's quite heartbreaking, because we saw the progress Carlos Queiroz has made with the team, and we saw the kind of growth that was coming into the team, and we're all hopeful, we're all hoping that this will be an improvement for the Ghana Black Stars team. Unfortunately, I think at the moment we are parting with Carlos Queiroz. That is at the moment, since we haven't come to a conclusion yet. Yes, the GFA is saying that it is too much for them. Carlos Queiroz is also demanding this money. So at the moment, we are parting with him until a decision is made or a conclusion is made. And then this is just a bummer, because we know that this is the 7th coach that has been appointed under Carlos Queiroz, Keto Kreku's administration. And it hasn't been up to 5 years since he took over as the GFA president of the country, of the Ghanaian sport. And this is the 7th appointed coach. And it's something else, because what is really happening? Can't we just settle on someone to take over and manage the affairs of the Black Stars? All the same, there's a question that is being sent to the association out there. Hopefully something can come out and we'll see what is going to happen. We have a competition that is coming up, that is qualification for the 2027 African Cup of Nations, which of course, the last edition that went on, we couldn't qualify. Now we are hoping to qualify, and right now, one of the crises we are dealing with is a managerial crisis. So let's see if we can solve this issue. We have been grouped with, we have been drawn with in Group C alongside Ivory Coast, the Gambia, and Somalia. These are not teams that we should fumble. It's when we are playing against, maybe against Ivory Coast, but the Gambia and then Somalia, of course, we can play and emerge winners against this team. So yes, now let's move on to our next story. Our next story has to do with the WAFCON competition. That's the WAFCON 2026 competition that is being held in Morocco, still ongoing. So Cameroon defeats host nation Morocco on penalty to set up final against Malawi. Yes, Malawi is a team that took out the Queens from the WAFCON competition, WAFCON 2026 competition. I watched that game, and then unfortunately we couldn't win against the Malawians. Now this is the highlight of the game between the host nation Morocco and Cameroon. Let's enjoy. That was a highlight of the just ended semi-finals between Cameroon and then the host nation of the WAFCON competition, Morocco. Obviously, from the highlights, I watched the game, but then even from the highlights, you can tell that the Moroccan side, the Moroccan women, were the favorites, and then they were the more dominant team in the game that just ended. But then football has its surprises. And then it didn't end well for Morocco because, they ended in a goalless draw right after the game, and then it went on to penalties. Unfortunately, Michaela Bihini, yes, the heroine of the Cameroonian team, did very well in the penalty shootout, saving two balls, two spot kicks, and then of course in the extra minute she made another crucial save, a penalty save, and then which took them to the penalty shootout, and of course advanced them to the finals. Now they are playing against Malawi, who is also going to the finals for the very first time in their history. So you can actually tell that this is actually going to be an interesting game. where we see more Cameroon. They haven't won a trophy before. They haven't won the African competition before. We see Malawi also, the Malawians and the ladies from Malawi also competing against Cameroon. So it's going to be an interesting one. I hope we'll also enjoy that game as well. It's going to be very competitive because we want to see a very dominant side of the Cameroonians if we're playing against the fresh side of the Malawians, and then we'll have an interesting game at hand. Now let's move on to my last story for today, and my last story is a local story that has to do with our very own Mediama Sporting Club, and it says that Mediama SC has been well strengthened for CAF Champions League campaign, says the board chairman Dr. Tony Obin. So yes, Mediama qualified for the CAF Champions League that went on, after the Premier League, the Ghanaian Premier League that went on, they emerged the winners, and then they automatically qualify for the CAF Champions League that they're going to compete against other African teams who also did very well in their local leagues. And then the board chairman of the Mediama SC, Dr. Tony Obin, says that the team, they are well strengthened for this Champions League that is coming up. Over the years, we know Ghanaian teams, they go Asante Kotoko, Hearts of Folk, Hearts of Lions, Mediama, they've been there before. They go, and then most of the time, preparations is one of the issues. Adequate preparations is one of the things that the boys lack when they go out there to compete against other African teams. And due to these reasons, the boys are not able to play to their utmost best, and then the result actually can show. It's evident in the results they bring back home when they compete in the CAF Champions League. But this time around, Dr. Tony is assuring us that the team is very well prepared. They are very well strengthened. They've made all preparations, or the adequate preparations to help boost the morale of the boys when they go out there to play in the games that are going to be held in the CAF Champions League that is going to be played. He said, and he revealed, and I quote, the Mediama players are highly motivated ahead of the Champions League. He also insisted that their determination extends beyond financial reward. So he's trying to also let us know that the boys are actually, when it comes to the financial part, which is a very big determinant when we are talking about football, the boys are actually sorted. Let me use that word for the lack of use of better words. They are sorted, and they are very prepared and very ready to compete to the highest level of the CAF Champions League. So yes, there is a lot that is going on in international world, transfers that is going on here and there. Now we have Manchester City also trying to sign Enzo Fernandez from Chelsea. Barcelona still on the discussion board, trying to sign number 9, trying to sign a centre back, trying to also sign Rodri from Manchester City. It's a whole lot. The transfer market is buzzing. We saw Liverpool out of nowhere signing Ronald Araujo from Barcelona on a loan deal. A lot that is going on actually, but all the same, we'll bring you the updates when all these things go through. Very soon, the European competitions will begin. Spanish La Liga will start very soon. After that, the EPL will also start. I hope you've started setting up your FPL teams. So the FPL managers out there, I hope and know that you've already started setting up your teams, your FPL 11 for the competitions ahead. Now, this is for the sports update segment. I've been your host for today. My name is Benedict Nketia Kwatin. Next is the business segment with my very own Nsiam.
Hello there, good morning to you and welcome. This is the Business Update segment on the Koko Digest Morning Show. And as usual on this segment, we provide you with the latest in the world of business, expert analysis and market trends that will impact your business and investment decisions. I am your host, Peter Nsia. Now to our stories. Ghana spends about 168 million United States dollars annually on fresh and processed tomato imports, while a disease outbreak has pushed the country's dependence on imported ginger to more than 99%. Researchers at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research say Ghana's annual tomato demand exceeds 1.4 million metric tons, but local production meets only 15 to 18% of the requirement. There's more to this.
Fresh tomato imports, mainly from Burkina Faso, cost about 18 million US dollars annually, whilst processed tomatoes imports from China and Europe account for roughly 150 million US dollars. The researchers attribute the production gap to limited access to quality seeds, inadequate irrigation, declining soil fertility, pest and diseases, and weak extension services. They also noted that only about 9,000 of the 15,000 hectares covered by Ghana's 22 public irrigation schemes are currently being utilized, limiting year-round tomato production.
Away from tomatoes, Ghana Gold Board has strengthened its dominance in Ghana's export economy, accounting for 63.1% of total exports in 2025, compared with 38.5% in 2004. According to the latest Ghana Merchandise Trade Statistics, gold exports generated about 412.6 billion Ghana cedis in 2025 and helped Ghana record a merchandise trade surplus of 148.3 billion Ghana cedis. There's more to this story.
The increase in export earning was driven largely by higher international gold prices, as export volumes have not increased at the same pace. Meanwhile, cocoa products also expanded their contribution, rising from 9.8% of exports in 2004 to 27% in 2025. The figures highlight the importance of gold to Ghana's foreign exchange earnings, while also underscoring the need to diversify exports and reduce the economy's exposure to fluctuation in a single commodity.
And on to our last story. Government is targeting 10 million Ghana cedis by the end of 2026 to finance the Ghana Agriculture Fund for Education and Transformation, aimed at strengthening agricultural education, skills training, and capacity development. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture has so far mobilized 3.5 million Ghana cedis, representing 25% of the target, leaving a funding gap of 6.5 million Ghana cedis.
Agriculture Minister Eric Opoku said government plans to grow the fund to 100 million Ghana cedi by 2028, while calling for stronger collaboration from the private sector and other stakeholders. He also stressed the importance of transparency and accountability in managing the funds to ensure contributions are effectively channeled into agricultural education and skills development.
Let's now turn our attention to the exchange rate and the gold coin. And that's all we have for you on the Business Update segment of the Koko Digest Morning Show. I am your host, Peter Nsia. Up next is the main discussion with Yaira Awono. Please do stay with us.
Yeah, welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. And if you're just tuning in, it's time for our main discussion. Now, today's conversation is in line with the Civil Service Week celebrations that are ongoing. And if you remember, last week we spoke with some officials from the Office of the Head of Civil Service, and they did mention that a care hub has been opened here in the civil service for all civil service staff. So today we're going to be speaking with Dr. Senna Owusu-Gibson. She is a counseling psychologist at the Civil Service Employee Assistance Program. So today she's going to be giving us information on the care hub and what it means for all of us. So let's get into the conversation. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, we're glad to have you here. So we know that the Office of the Head of Civil Service has established a care hub, and this is to support civil service staff facing depression, anxiety, stress, and other emotional or psychosocial challenges. So this initiative aims to promote mental well-being, improve workplace productivity, and build a healthier working environment across the civil service. So today we are going to be looking at that. Yes, if you have any mental health issues, any questions also, you can send them to the WhatsApp number that will be displayed onto your screen subsequently, and also to the YouTube or Facebook live stream, and I'll get them here and read them to you. When the phone lines are open, you can also call and ask your questions or share your sentiments about the care hub. So let's get into the conversation. So Doc, the Civil Service Employee Assistance Program, what is it all about?
All right, thank you, Yaya. And I would like to use the opportunity to say good morning to viewers. Like the name rightly implies, Employee Assistance Program is basically about identifying challenges that employees have,
okay,
and finding interventions to help them thrive in a place of work. So across the globe, I'm very careful using the R and the R. So internationally, so let me prevent using the internationally, EAPs, that is the shortening for Employee Assistance Programs, interventions that are used in the workplace, organizations, institutions, to ensure that staff who have challenges, either personal or work-related, are helped to manage those challenges, to cope with the challenges so that it doesn't affect their productivity and performance eventually. And when that happens, eventually it's the organization that suffers. And so EAPs are basically meant to provide such support systems for staff to deal with challenges so that it doesn't affect them as individuals, and again as an organization. So that's what EAP is basically all about.
Okay, so has this EAP been in existence in the civil service throughout the existence of the civil service, or it was something recent?
Okay, so the EAP was launched last year, 31st August 2025. Until then, there wasn't anything of that sort.
Okay.
But again, even though it wasn't specified as EAP, provisions, the Labor Act and various other, the Ghana Health Service occupational policies and all that, within those instruments, there are provisions for welfare or well-being of employees, but it is now encapsulated under the Employee Assistance Program. So before then, there was nothing named as EAP, but of course, within our various instruments, that provision is there for the welfare and well-being of our staff.
Right. Okay, so now let's come to the Care Hub. What services does the Care Hub provide to civil service staff?
Okay, so the Care Hub, basically, the name was given Care Hub because we want to, when you were talking about, when you're doing the synopsis, you mentioned about mental health and all that. You know, when you talk about counseling, people begin to assume that once you go for counseling, that means that you have a challenge. Or once you say mental health, that means you're mad. And so, in the first place, to take away the stigma related with counseling and mental health, we decided to name the place Care Hub.
Okay.
Care Hub in the sense that it doesn't only deal with mental health issues, but we are basically concerned about the well-being, general well-being of civil service staff, especially the fact that we are all civil service staff, I'm also a civil service staff. So obviously, I'll go for something that works for our common good. So the Care Hub was named such to remove, first of all, the stigma around counseling. So the Care Hub is there to provide psychosocial support services for, so the name psycho and then social support services for civil service staff. And so we provide not only counseling, but guidance on various challenges that the civil service staff may be encountering. So it includes grief counseling. We provide for listening to you when you have anything to do with conversion, to do with promotion, to do with grief, to do with your family, to do with marriage, anything that, so in quote, anything that affects you as an individual, be it in a workspace or even at home personally, that would affect your work. We provide such services to help you, to cushion you against such so that it doesn't affect you and doesn't also eventually affect the organization. So we provide services across various fields, like I mentioned, to help you just feel comfortable. You know.
Okay, so my next question may be a little, I want to ask in a way, not to try to paint any organization in any way, but as people working and everything, sometimes you realize that you make a complaint. Let's say you have a boss that, is not the best, and you make a complaint maybe to HR, and by the time you realize it's out there, and you hear responses like the HR is here to protect the organization, not, the employees and all of that. So as someone who has heard stuff like that, how would I be able to feel, what would you do, or what would you say to us to be able to come there and know that, okay, everything I share is going to be confidential. It's not something that, okay, maybe this boss that I have will hear about it.
Okay. Thank you. So let me correct something. Any HR that says, I'm here to protect the organization, is actually not doing proper HR work.
Okay.
Because HR is supposed to be a link between the organization and then the individual. And so if your work as an HR, if you think that your work is to protect the organization, then you have gotten it wrong in the first place. And so for a staff who may be facing such a challenge, the HR is there, again, to protect the interests of staff. And so it's the bridge between management and staff. So if you find yourself in a place where you're afraid, and quite often that's what happens, and that's why the EAP, it's also deployed in various institutions and organizations, because the HR is seen as a punitive, let me use it, it's not a punitive individual, because they are there to regulate and all that. So most often staff would find it difficult to speak to HR about very personal issues, because they may think that those may be used against them in the appraisal system or anything like that. So if you find yourself in a place where you're unable to talk to the HR, or you feel that, should I open up to the HR about anything, it be used against me, that is where the EAP is there. Okay. So you can go beyond that and come and speak to us. Even though the channel, some of the processes may have to go to your HR, we have also made it possible for you to just walk into the care hub to lay complaints. And we have had such people coming in, and then we will channel it through the processes to make sure that your grievances are handled and are taken care of.
Okay, so another one quite similar. There are people who say they want to keep a work-life balance, right? So they want to keep personal things away from work, keep all of that separate. And you do offer counseling for every kind of problem. So if someone who has that sentiment that I don't want to come and talk to my work people about what I'm facing at home, how would you encourage that person to feel free and also seek the help they need?
Okay. So I would say that if, as an individual, we all have our limits and the people we feel comfortable opening up to. But if such a service like the Employee Assistance Program is provided for in your organization, you would want to take advantage of such to air or share your personal challenges. If you find it difficult so work-life balance doesn't mean that you take your personal issues out of the workspace. And so, like I mentioned, the EAP is there to serve as a bridge between your organization or your immediate HR unit and us at the Employee Assistance Program. And we are professionals. We operate strictly by rules, ethics, and regulations of the profession. And so you are assured that whatever you discuss with an EAP professional will not end up with your organization. Okay. And so when you come to the care hub, for instance, we have a consent form. Within that consent form, we make you understand that whatever you discuss with us remains with us. You sign a consent form. Should you ever feel that anything shared is taken out, you have the legal process to follow. So we are backed by the Ghana Psychological Association. We are backed by the Ghana Psychology Council. We are actually accredited by the council to provide such services.
Okay.
And so if any staff feels that whatever is shared becomes public information or goes where they do not want it to go, you are at liberty to take the staff on, yes, and then you would be, I'm sure that you would have your grievances effectively managed.
Okay, so coming back to the care hub now, is it only counseling or there are other services that are available to us?
Okay, so we do not only provide counseling services. We do a lot of workshops and seminars on anything that borders on well-being. So since its inception, we have done team building workshops for Ministry of Finance. We have done mental health awareness creation for urban roads, Ministry of Roads and Highways. We have also done knowledge sharing platforms. We have done that. We have done stress management. We have done emotional intelligence with procurement. So those are some of the things we do. So anything that would put the staff, we are more proactive than reactive. Okay. That's what it is. So anything that we would do to ensure the well-being of staff is what the care hub is all about. And so basically, we provide not only counseling services. So like I mentioned earlier, the people who have challenges with their promotion, conversion, conflict management at work, there are conflicts in the work environment. People come in there with such challenges. Maybe someone feels that in their office they are not heard. We've had people come in with such challenges. So it's not basically about counseling. We can help you through the process to get to, for instance, you're a controller staff, a civil service staff. You have a problem with your salary. You're unable to do that. We have people like that who come in, and then we channel them through the various places, guide them through CMDs, other CMD staff. If it's FNA, we channel it through FNA. So we act as play the middle path between the organization and other challenges that you may be facing as a civil service staff.
All right. So I think on behalf of the ladies, let me not be biased. Does sexual harassment also, is that something that also fits into the services you provide? If someone is facing something of that sort, can they come?
Sure, certainly.
You can come. If it's like a minister or something, somebody with that high position and is disturbing a young girl, how can that person feel confident enough to come and share this? Because at the end of the day, these people are the ones at the helm of affairs. And what if the EAPs take this matter up and it gets shut down totally because it's some sort of order from above? So maybe that young lady or that young man is afraid.
That's a very interesting one. And so I want to state that we have the support of the Office of the Head of Civil Service, the Head of Civil Service himself, Dr. Evans Agri. And so should you bring in any case as such, like if it is within our ranks, so a junior officer being harassed by another junior officer, we are able to effectively handle that. Okay. But like you rightly mentioned, if it's a minister, a director, top-level manager, we would possibly may have to bring in the head of service or other directors. Director CMD is there. We have director career manager, RTT. There are various directors that we can get involved to. If it becomes worse or difficult, someone above the director, the head of civil service is there to do that. I mean, he has some connection with or some linkage with the council members of the Council of State. The Civil Service Council is also there. So the hierarchies are there where we can escalate the issues to make sure that they are dealt with. All we need you to do is to trust us enough to come to us with such information. And you are assured that that will not go out. It will be handled professionally.
Right. So this is just to say the Care Hub is a safe space for all civil service staff. So whatever challenge you're facing that is affecting your productivity, your mental health, your life in general, please make your way to the Care Hub. If you don't have access to other, institutions or bodies that can help you, the Care Hub is right here, just in our corner here in the Ministerial Enclave. So please let's take advantage of this nice initiative here for us. So the Care Hub, again, is it limited to just civil service staff or everybody the general public is allowed to access it?
Currently, our services are limited to civil service staff and their immediate families.
Okay, okay.
So immediate families here, we refer to yourself, your child, and your spouse. That's it.
So the single ones with their parents?
No. Oh. Unfortunately, we are unable to do that now. And so we'll possibly, maybe in the future, yes, as the service expands, we will possibly be able to do that. But for now, that's what we can accommodate. And even that, there's a big question mark.
Well, I mean, it just started, so obviously baby steps. So can you take us through how the process works?
All right. So you have a challenge, let's assume. And when I talk about the processes, I like to do some basic education on mental health. So mental health would often take us by surprise. You know, mental health issues would always take us by surprise. And oftentimes, most of us will say, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm normal, I'm fine. And most people are in denial. And so we would always say that should you find any changes happening to either you or to your colleague, for that matter, and you can tell that this is not who they are. So there are changes happening to you cognitively. So mental health is all about thought, affect, and behavior. Your thoughts, your affect or emotions, and your behavior. So this is someone you know quite well, and you realize that there are changes happening to this person. And this change is not as a result of some health conditions that they have. It's not as a result of a medication they are taking or some other, or any substance abuse. We encourage you to engage with that staff initially. Communicate to them the changes you are seeing, because you know them better than any other person. So you are seeing that there are changes going on with their thought processes, with their emotions, and their behavior. You want to take the time to just point it out to them first. But, oh, I have been observing for a while. I think that there's some change happening to you. You don't talk like you used to talk before. Your dressing is different. You come to work, your clothes are ironed. Those are the behavioral changes. Or you see emotional changes where the person is sad, always crying, or anything of that sort. And then you see, or maybe thought processes that are negative. You want to just call that person and then point it out to them. And then see, maybe if they talk to you, they're able to confide in you about what it is. And it's within your power. If not, we have referral processes.
Okay.
So we have the individual referral. Then we have the what we call supervisory referral or mandatory referral. Okay, so with the individual referral, and then we have the external referral. Okay. I'll take time and go through that one. So the individual referral, it's you as an individual, you may have observed some changes with you, changes cognitively, emotionally, and then behaviorally. You know that this is not me. There is something happening to me that is unlike me. You want to seek help. So you can just walk into the care hub. But because of our limited space, we encourage that you call, you book an appointment, and we have the numbers. I'll make it available by the end of our interview. So we encourage that you place a call and book an appointment and come and speak. That's a self-referral. So you just walk in yourself or place a call, so that we don't want you to come and sit there waiting. Exactly.
Okay.
So if you call and someone is being attended to, we will let you know that, okay, come in about an hour, 30 minutes. And then we have the supervisory or mandatory referral. And then peer referral. Okay. So I forgot about the peer referral. So with the peer referral, that's what I mentioned earlier. You have observed some changes in your colleague. Yes, and you just want to refer them to the counseling unit and tell them there's a place at the civil service, head of service, that can support you through this process. It could be loss, grief, divorce, separation, disappointment with promotion or anything that is going on, failure at promotion and all those things. You want to just refer them to the care hub to seek some form of support. We are there to provide some support. And then we also have the mandatory referral.
Okay.
So the mandatory one or supervisory referral is when you your changes or whatever changes are happening to you, it's quite pronounced. It's becoming a threat to yourself and maybe to colleagues at work. It becomes so obvious that everyone in the workspace can see that all is not well with you. And then maybe you are absenting yourself from work and several other things that are not productive. So your supervisor would have to fill a form. So we have a referral form which is on our website, on the OACS website. That you can just download and fill, and then you will not have to fill it anyway. Your supervisor will fill that. And because we do not want it to go to the process for others to know what it's all about, we are asking that you hand it over to us directly, either via email or via WhatsApp. We have a dedicated WhatsApp line. And then we will be the ones to contact the staff and then encourage them to come to the care hub for assistance. And then we have finally the external referral. So external referral here will refer you to institutions that are outside our jurisdiction. So for instance, maybe you have drug addiction issues. It's beyond our professional skills to deal with. We will provide the counseling or therapy that you need. But someone with a drug addiction issue, you have bipolar, severe depression, you need medication. So in that case, we will refer you. So either the mental health, Accra Psych 37. When we talk about Accra Psych, people always think that Accra Psych is for mad people, but they hold a lot of well-being seminars and workshops. And so we will refer you to that place. One for medication, because we do not prescribe. Psychologists do not prescribe. It's only psychiatrists who prescribe. So we refer you to a psychiatrist. That is in severe cases for assistance, whilst we provide the counseling and therapy for you to cope.
Okay. So you mentioned psychologists and psychiatrists. So I want to ask then, does that mean that the civil service has employed, medical professionals or professionals like you in the psychology department in there to specifically do this, or we just have maybe the older generation who are well-versed in some of these issues who give the counseling?
Okay, so I am a counseling psychologist. I am an employee of the head of civil service, or the civil servant. We also have, luckily, the Ministry of Health is under us, and we have a lot of doctors in there. So we may fall on them. But currently, we have, the system, we have social workers also. So employee assistance programs are made of various professionals. So we could have social workers, psychologists. So we have a social worker, we have psychologists, we have counselors. So there's a difference between a psychologist and a counselor. We provide different services. And we are hoping to, you mentioned old civil servants. There are people within the service who have done courses in psychology, and we are hoping to leverage on their expertise and bring them on board so that we can expand our scope for providing services. So currently, yes, there are professionals within the system who provide such services, and they are professionals.
Okay. So my next question, this one is not to break the confidentiality, but so far, what are the most common challenges that you have realized that civil service staff face?
Thank you for saying that you don't want to break the confidentiality. But again, in order to remove the stigma around mental health, there's nothing wrong to say that I have a mental health issue. There's nothing wrong. I know when I'm doing mental health education, I tell people that if people are bold to say, I have diabetes, I have hypertension, I have asthma, mental health issues are issues that have to do with some parts of the body. And so why would you feel bad talking about having a mental health issue? I like the smile on your face because that's the stigma showing right there, And so we have issues.
But usually people tend to attribute mental health issues with a sort of breakdown in cognitive function. So in that way, they tend to use all kinds of derogatory names and all of that. So it makes it very difficult for people to come out and say maybe they are depressed, or even sometimes you say you're depressed, knowing that there's even something like functional depression. You are depressed, but you are still able to do everything. Somebody, now you say you're depressed, then they even start to tease you and make jokes. So it ends up making the individual want to keep it to themselves rather than find help or talk to other people. So I think that's the main stigma.
Okay, so let me correct what you said. You said mental health is a breakdown in cognitive function.
Yeah, a lot of people look at it that way.
Okay, let me give you a definition of the World Health Organization, definition of mental health, the World Health, how it defines mental, and then let's see whether it's a breakdown in cognitive functioning. Okay, so World Health Organization defines mental health as a state of well-being in which the individual is able to identify their own capabilities. They are able to cope with the normal stresses of life, are productive, and are able to contribute to their community. So this is 4. 1, your ability to identify your own abilities.
Yeah.
So that means that if at any point in time you are unable to identify your own abilities, you are not in the right state of mind.
There's a problem.
So it's not a cognitive breakdown, but you are just not in the right state of mind. It doesn't mean that you are mad. Okay. 2, you are unable to cope with the normal stresses of life. So what we are doing here is a normal stress. Conversations around your work, conversations, what you do every day, is a normal stress. But if at any point in time you wake up in the morning and you don't feel like doing this morning, you are not in the right state of mind at that particular moment. And that is a mental health issue.
Okay.
You are unproductive. That is a mental health issue. And you can contribute to your community. So maybe this is your community at work. You don't relate, you don't talk to anyone, you don't laugh, you don't take jokes. Those are all mental health issues. So it is not necessarily cognitive breakdown, but it can be just a brief moment where you are just not yourself.
Yeah.
So if I wake up this morning, I don't feel like talking to anyone, I may not be in the right state, but that is unlike me. Or even angry, that is unlike you. So mental health is not what we think it is, because oftentimes we are lifting it higher than thinking that, like you said, a breakdown in cognitive function. You may not break down in cognitive function. You could respond appropriately to everything. You can tell that this is time, place, and all that, but you may not be in the right state of mind, or you may not be in an emotional right state of emotion. So when we talk about mental health, it's thought, affect, and behavior. So emotionally, you are just not sound. That is a mental health issue. Not that you are mad. So when we talk about mental health, that is what basically it is about. Okay. So then, you may not find the need to stigmatize anyone, because every moment in time, if you lose someone right now, someone very, very close to you, briefly, you are not in the right state of mind. You may lose cognitive function. You may lose emotional balance. Behaviorally, you may be out of behavior for the normal behavior you are known for. And there is a mental health issue. And so there's no need to stigmatize anyone who comes out. So depression, anxiety, and even that they are at severity levels.
Yeah.
Those are issues we can call serious mental health issues. And there are people who have that, as people seek help with that. And there's no need for us to stigmatize them. They are amongst us. They are just like people with us with diabetes, hypertension, asthma, and other autoimmune conditions or not that. They are amongst us. So we have them. And some of them are seeking help with a care hub.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember I asked, okay, maybe because you don't want to break confidentiality, what was the most common one? Is it burnout, work stress? What do you think, what have you realized that civil service staff are facing? Do we need more massages?
I think that largely, for the cases that we have handled, it has to do with dissatisfaction at work, conflict in the workspace, very unfriendly. I'm very careful, like I mentioned, using the word R and L because
no worries.
So very unfriendly and mean bosses. I mean, that's what I'll say. Very unfriendly and very mean, insensitive bosses are some of the issues that we've had to deal with. We've also had challenges with people not unfairness in terms of remuneration and all that. People have issues with promotion, conversion. So largely, it's about dissatisfaction. Yes, even though we have some people with mental health issues who also seek our services.
Okay, so I have two colleagues who will not forgive me if I don't ask this question, which is, do you provide counseling for postpartum issues with the new mothers as well?
Okay, so like I mentioned, anything that affects your work, we are there for the general well-being of civil service staff. Okay. That is why the office was created. Anything, either personal. So I mentioned in the beginning about marital, divorce, separation, delinquent children, anything that affects your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior, anything that challenges you emotionally, that places you in a place where you're unproductive. It affects your performance, it affects your functioning as a normal human being. We are there to provide support for all that. So anything that you find a challenge with, that you need support for, the EAP is there to provide that support.
All right.
So this is for you.
So if I'm a new mom returning from maternity leave and adjusting without my baby, it's been difficult. I can also come and seek help. Can I come with the baby?
The baby, we have a place for hosting babies. It's a very small place. Currently, it's full. But the civil service, also again, that's employee assistance to ensure that motherhood does not become an impediment to your work. The Office of the Head of Civil Service. And then again, I think the Ministry of Gender as well created a space where children can be taken care of whilst their parents, the mother focuses on their work. And so, yes, so you have a baby, you're having a challenge. There's a place for you to bring your baby, but you may have to follow some procedures. And postpartum depression, like you mentioned, it's very common. Especially new mothers who are finding it difficult to go through the challenges of taking care of a newborn baby. I remember I had a cousin who, anytime the baby cries, she starts crying because she doesn't know what to do to the baby, to calm the baby down and all that. And so sometimes even the basic procedure of birth, the challenges of pregnancy and the traumatic experience of childbirth could proceed you to having post-traumatic. And then when you don't have support after childbirth, it can also proceed you to having postpartum depression. So, yes, you can come and seek help for that. And if it's severe, we may have to refer you for medication for just a very brief period. And you'll be fine.
All right. So this is to the new mothers out there in the civil service. If you have any postpartum challenges and there's no support, the Care Hub is open to you. You're very welcome to seek help from the Care Hub, as Doc has said. So it is not limited to just other mental health issues, but even for postpartum and other related problems, you can also come to the Care Hub. So, if someone has a mental health issue, how badly does it affect productivity?
Okay, so let me go back to what you said initially. So mental health issues, we have severities. So if I wake up today and I feel like not talking to anyone, maybe I'm just processing something that is bothering me. It may not affect my work, but it may affect my relationship. But it may not affect the output of my work, but it may affect my relationship with other people. And so mental health, it's a real pain in the workspace because organizations lose in terms of productivity, absenteeism. People will not come to work because they are struggling with an emotional or cognitive challenge or even behavioral challenge. So absenteeism is one, not report to work. Then they will have presenteeism. So presenteeism is when you're at work, but virtually you're not doing anything. Not because you don't want to do anything, but you are not in the right state of mind to work. And then we also have several mistakes that people, so someone may be a top-notch staff. That's why I push for the fact that if you have a staff who is very productive and a lot of a sudden they are not, first place is not punishment.
Okay.
It's for you to seek to find out why that. And the first place is not reprimand, but to try to engage them to find out why that is happening. So a lot of mistakes would happen in such workspaces where there are mental health issues. And for us civil servants who are dealing with policies and planning, coordination, decision making, it affects decision making. Any mental health problem will affect your decision making, will affect your productivity and all that. And so that is the cost to the organization and also to the individual, because your image is at stake if you find yourself making a lot of corrections, you're unproductive, you don't feel like you have no motivation for work, there's low energy because you don't feel supported in a workspace and all that.
So as an individual, a self-aware individual, at what point would you encourage any of us facing, something, we may call it something small, but at what point should we seek to come to the care hub?
Okay, thank you for that question. So when it comes to mental health severity, there are some D's that I always push across. Okay. So duration. So how long has this been happening to you? For how long? So I'm experiencing changes in my thought, affect, and behavior. This change is not as a result of any medication I'm taking. Because if you are taking medications, there are some medications that would affect your mood or affect your cognitive functioning, sometimes even your behavior. So it's been noted that whatever you are going through is not as a result of a medication. The change happening to you. So you know yourself, you know that these days the way I'm feeling, that's not the way I feel. These days my thoughts are filled with negative thoughts. I am suicidal. I feel like someone is pursuing me when I don't have any evidence of anyone pursuing me. Those are cognitive, or I feel some people in the workspace will just feel that everyone in the workspace doesn't like me. Those are cognitive challenges. And it's happened to you for a period. So in mental health, we would stay 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So let's say consistently on a daily basis, you feel that change in cognition, or that emotional change, or that behavioral change for a period of 2 weeks. So that's the duration. If it's more than 2 weeks, for some it's 6 months, for some 1 year or beyond. But the minimum we say is 2 weeks. Minimum is 2 weeks. So that's the duration. And then we have does it render you dysfunctional? So it has happened to you for some time, and it renders you dysfunctional. Dysfunctional means occupationally it renders you dysfunctional, professionally it renders you dysfunctional, maybe academically and socially. So you're not yourself that you used to be. Like maybe Yaya who comes to work and is always laughing and picking her pigeon and jiggling, and all of a sudden Yaya is dull, doesn't engage, just quiet, is withdrawing from everyone and all that. So those are signs that something is going on. It renders you dysfunctional. You can't work effectively. You can't relate with people that you normally relate with. You can't, you're making a lot of mistakes. So those are dysfunctionalities. You don't want to wake up and go to work. So it renders you dysfunctional. The third one is it causes you distress. You're worried. You're worried. You're worried about losing your work. You're worried about yourself, your being, and your relationship with other people. It affects you in every other area of your life. So it causing you distress. And sometimes, even people around you, it causes them distress. So your colleagues are bothered. What is happening to Yaya? She's not who she used to be. Yaya these days is abusive. Gets irritated at little things, which is very much unlike you. So you are causing other people distress as well. And then the other one is deviant. Deviant means that whatever is happening to you deviates from either the normal you or from the norms of society.
Okay.
So in mental health, we have deviant in the sense that mental health is culturally defined. So within a certain culture, for instance, if you go to the Scottish, they wear skirt. You go to Scotland, they wear skirts. We don't wear skirt here. So if all of a sudden you start wearing skirts, that is deviant from the norm. So any behavior that you exhibit, or any emotional expression, any cognitive expression, that is deviant from the norm. So the behavior is deviant. We would say that you have a challenge. So those are indications where you may have to quickly look for help. So you don't wait till 5 months, 6 months. If it's 6 months, you are getting to severity level, because for every mental health issue, we have the mild, we have the moderate, then we have severe, then we have extremely severe. So just like any other health condition, like they say, early detection, good. So if you are able to report early, you can curtail that. With sometimes it's just basic counseling you need to go through that. But if you wait till severity levels, you may need medication. And that is where we would want to, every doctor would want to, prevent giving their clients higher doses of medication. They want to manage the situation before it gets out of control. So once you see those changes happening to you, it's rendering you dysfunctional, causes you distress, it's deviant, and you want to seek help as soon as possible. And we are there to provide the very immediate help you need before it escalates to something else.
Okay. So for the sake of viewers also, I want to, some of these questions, even though they've been answered, I want clarification. So assuming someone has a physical challenge, I mean, you have also made mention about people who have physical problems like the diabetes, the illnesses, right? Now, as someone who's probably dealing with an illness or the other, and it's causing them distress, it's causing them mental health problems, or even a physical disability, are they also welcome to the care hub?
Certainly, because some of the causes of mental health issues are, when I define the World Health Organization definition of mental health, are basic things you cannot cope with. So if you have a diagnosis right now, you are thrown out of. Imagine you are told you have cancer, you have any other health condition, and health conditions are known to be some of the causes of mental health issues. Because you are thinking the financial burden of taking care of yourself, the financial burden on other people, the thinking that I may become a burden to other people, and all that, they result in those emotional, cognitive, and sometimes behavioral changes. And so, yes, so if you have a physical condition that is affecting you emotionally, cognitively, behaviorally, we are there to provide the support for you. We may not provide the medical support, but we would help you cope with the challenge, understand the challenge, and accept your state. There is something we call acceptance and commitment therapy. So you review yourself and accept that this is my current condition, this is my current situation. I may possibly have to live with this for the rest of my life. So cognitively, you need a change of mind to be able to accept the situation and to be able to go through it. And we are there to provide such. It will not affect. Some people are afraid that if I come and disclose my health status, I may lose my job or people may begin to treat me differently. We are there to help.
Okay. So in counseling and all of that, if I come and my problem seems to be that I just need rest, yet maybe I have applied for my annual leave. This is just an example. And I have been denied that. Are you also in the position to write to my organization to let them know that this employee needs a few days off, like an excuse duty or something like that?
I think that currently we do not have that mandate.
Okay.
We may engage, verbally, but we do not have that. Okay, let me see. We are under the Career Management Directorate.
Okay.
And the labor law mandates that you have your annual leave. It's part of employee well-being, And so, in as much as you don't have the direct mandate to talk to your directors, hey, come on, give early, because they have that prerogative to determine. Maybe there's a work that needs to be done, there's some work that needs to be done, a workload and all that. But if it is severity, you really, really need this leave too. We do not have that mandate, but we are hoping that with the development of the policy, we are coming up with a policy that will help regulate what we do and give us some powers to be able to put in a letter, go through the processes to make sure that at least whatever is due the staff is not denied. And that will affect them, affect their performance, productivity, affect them as individuals. We would help, tell that. So we are hoping that we would get the mandate.
Okay, so with building up on the same question, where when you get the mandate, will there be measures put in place to prevent people, a few mental home, so there may be a few people that may want to take advantage. Will there be measures in place to prevent such behaviors where they would use the care hub as the care of for any absenteeism or any bad behaviors they might exhibit?
Certainly. I mean, I think that outside the care hub, there are various administrative instructions, administrative guidance and all that regulate our work. And so it isn't that care hub is the one that is going to do the magic of making sure that, those things are abused. The regulations are there. Okay. We'll just make sure that you fall within what you have to fall into. And for me, like I mentioned, I do not have the mandate now or the right now to issue a letter to you to say this. So if it's possibly external, you need to seek external help for a mental health issue. Yes, I'll discuss with the director CMD. We have done that. We can issue letters for that purpose. Okay. But to indicate that you should be given a leave or whatever, it's not currently within.
Okay. So yes, for those of us who may be having any ideas, please let us disabuse our minds of that. Thank you so much. And I'd like to take your final words for today. Leaving this conversation, what would you want someone out there watching to take away? And then you can give us the location, the contact pages and numbers that we can also access from you?
All right. Thank you so much. If you are watching us, you are a civil service staff, I want to encourage you to patronize the services of the Care Hub. The Care Hub, it's there. So the bigger name we mentioned is the Employee Assistance Program. Our mandates basically is to support you through the various stages of your life, to help you deal with issues that may affect you, affect your productivity, affect your performance generally, and affect your general well-being. And you are assured of confidentiality in the sense that we operate strictly by professional regulations and all that. And should you realize that any staff is breaking the bridge or breaking the confidentiality, you can take us on and all that. So we encourage you, don't sit there and wallow in self-pity. Mental health issues are not like I say, it's a disability, but they are not issues that should put you in a corner. We are all dealing with one thing or the other. So whoever may stigmatize you, whoever may call you name, may also be dealing with one issue or the other. So please be bold. Own up to whatever challenge you have. Yes, we have faith, but don't cling on faith. Because even Jesus Christ in the Bible at a point used saliva and leaves to heal.
Yeah.
That was physical medication there. So please, yes, you may need medication at certain points in your time. You may need help. So do not sit back and wallow in self-pity, because with mental health issues, the more you delay, like any other health issue, it becomes difficult to manage. So please seek early help, and we are there to provide that help. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So where can we find this Care Hub? Are there any social media pages and contact numbers?
Okay, so currently we operate directly under the OACS social media pages. Hopefully we'll get our private one. But if you want to reach the Care Hub, we are in the annex building of the Office of the Head of Civil Service, right here across the CLOSAC hall. So you come to room 8, room 9 or 10. That is annex B of the Civil Service, the building right behind the Office of the Head of Civil Service building. In fact, it's part of the building. You can reach us on 050 333
333
119.
119.
And then our email address is
the number is not complete. 050
333 1119.
Okay, so the
Is
ones
it
are
111?
3. Okay.
Is it 7 or 9? Okay, sorry. 7119.
7119.
Yes,
so
7119.
050 333 7119. Okay, so let's take note. We can reach the Care Hub on 050 333 7119. Is that the only number, please?
Yes, that's the only number. And then you can also reach us via email. SIP, that's the Civil Service Employee Assistance Program.
CEAP.
Yes. CSEAP
Okay.
at oacs.gov.gh.
Okay, so let me try and see if I remember. So CSEAP at OHCS.
CS, yes.
Okay.
.gov.gh.
Okay, .gov.gh. So yes, if you're watching, you can find these bits of information on our Facebook and YouTube. Yes, so that you can take note, even as it's not been displayed, you can get this. So yes, the email is csEAP@ohcs.gov.gh, and then the number is 050 333 7119. So please do contact, please take note and contact the Care Hub for all the care that you may need. Thank you so much, Dr. Senna Owusu Gibson. Thank you so much for joining us today, and it's been very informative. I have some questions that I'll ask backstage. Yes, up next we have the BLB coming in. Yes, they are celebrating their 95th anniversary of existence. So we'll come back and then have an interaction with a BLB. So do stay tuned. Yeah, welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. And as I said earlier, Accra Academy, the only school in Accra, is celebrating the 95th anniversary. And I have here with me Mr. Richard Abe Jr., and he is part of the publicity committee of the Old Boys Association. And yes, he's here to educate us a little bit about the 95th anniversary celebrations that's coming up this Saturday. So let's get into it. Thank you, Bloby, for joining us here. I like your get-up. Yeah, yes, repping your school through and through. Right? Yes. So, 95th anniversary. Your school has been in existence for 95 years. How does that feel as an old boy?
Well, I feel very proud. The thing is that and it's still a legacy. I mean, we're celebrating purpose and then we're celebrating our pride because 4 young men who, let me say, are entrepreneurs, decided to put up this together. And in a community where many were deprived. So Accra Academy focuses on, you can see the starting tells you the kind of people we're looking at for the poor, the less privileged and all that. And for me, that is where even my story as an entrepreneur is related to the same 4 men that began Accra Academy. So I'm very happy, of course. I mean, 95 years means, assuming I'm 95, I would have been happy.
Yeah,
so
being white.
Now, yes, kind of like now I now push to say, okay, let me also live up to the 95 or something. So we are very, very proud of it as academicians. And then you said it's the only school, it's the only academy anyway, because we want to be known as Accra Academy.
Yes,
yes,
the only
that people have
academy,
now metaphors the whole thing into Accra Academy Senior High. No, it's Accra Academy. There are times when you write a letter to us and you write Accra Academy Senior High School, we may reject it. And yes, our school prefect. Yes, I was a school prefect. So
okay. So we have an old school prefect here with us. So let's be very careful. Let me change my intro. Yes, the only academy here in Accra, even in Ghana, I must say.
It should be, of course. Any other is it's not original. It's fake.
Okay. The original academy here in Accra. So tell us about the 95th anniversary celebration. What should we expect?
Yeah, so I mean, even or let me say before this, of course, we've had sections of where career and counseling that have been done and all that. We were also lined up some projects. Of course, we want to prepare ourselves for the 100th year as well, because I mean that's going to be a centenary as well towards it. But on this Saturday, on the 15th, we're going back to where it started from. So we're going to have a float.
Okay.
We're going to go back to Jamestown, called the Ellen House, and then from there we come back to the campus. We always want to go back to where this whole thing began from, which is the Jamestown, and that's going to be a very wonderful float where we have everybody. I mean, our bone shaker. We are hoping our bone shaker will be strong. Our road glass, that's what we used to do, and all that. We're going back there, and then we'll come back to the campus, and then we're going to have now our fun moment for the campus where schools will now come and perform in terms of the Jama, and that's where you hear, if you want to hear one of the best in terms of Jama, Asamoah Gyan himself was from there. Of course.
Okay.
When it comes to Jama and his celebration, I mean, that's where you find in Accra Academy. So that's what we're going to do this coming Saturday. We are saying that we are happy to celebrate our pride as academicians, and then the fact that the school and its existence, we are happy for the purpose of even trying to educate people and then getting them. And you see, one thing Akaka does is that, you see, sometimes people say you find us incarnation and all that going here and there. So one thing Akaka does is that it trains the people to become independent and entrepreneurial. And that's the strength that we have. So for us, that's the thing we want to celebrate this coming Saturday. Okay. And so we are just telling everybody, I mean, all old students, I mean, in our time, we have 500 people that actually graduated or so. I mean, all these people were telling every other person to be on campus on that day, and that let's show the others that we are. I mean, we are the academicians. We are the Blobs. So so this Saturday is going to be gracious.
So are other schools invited?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we want them to learn from us, so we've always invited them. Of course, even in our launch, when we launched the 95th anniversary logo, we invited some of them and all that. And I believe that they might be picking some points. So, I mean, we invited them, the other schools, pre-sex and all that. What do you call it? And our ladies, of course, we have now understand that even St. Mary's, our ladies, which is a customer, but we have understood that Briggers have also decided that they want to take over. So we allowed them. I mean, the last time they wore our uniforms and they took pictures and all that, telling us they have ditched the other schools, so they now want to come back to us. And you say you are from Accra girls,
yes.
And you said you've also pitched camp.
We've been searching.
Whether you go, no, this is the place you must be.
Okay.
So other schools are also invited to be there to come and celebrate with us. Yeah.
Okay. So aside the float, what are some of the other programs lined up for the celebration?
No, so once you finish the flow and come there, then that's what we do internally. Even there's a year group, which is my year group 2G, that is going to inaugurate, or let me say, commission an eco park, a park where students can have visitation, where they can sit and all that. We used to have what we call a Jazz Academy sometime, where there were trees where we sit on, but we changed the place to a park for the flow for our year celebrations and all that. But now we are trying to create a place where we can have people to also, let's say, if they get visitors, they can sit and all that, which is going to be launched there. And on a very good day, on that day, that's where we do mostly every campus or every year group will now have to come in, perform and all that. Like I said, we are trying to also raise funds towards our 100th or our centenary, because that's another major thing we are concerned about, in order to raise a certain amount of, I think about 50 million or something, in order to do some projects within the school. Because we don't want to leave the school as it is. We believe that come and contribute back, of course, to where you came from. I mean, and for us, if it was not Accra Academy, I'm not sure we would have been where we are now, honestly, because we learned the rudiments of life. We understood certain things in Accra Academy. We become a little. So people say, "Oh, no, yeah, the hiwa is from the school." You understand? You can't leave campus on here, you cannot do that. You see, and so that's it. So this week, Bubuashi is the Bubuashi go to shake. Okay. Back there.
Okay. Yeah. So how long is the celebration for? Is it just one day, or you're dedicating a whole week or a month?
No, so it actually started a long time, like a month ago, because that's when we had done the counseling guidance and all that, the speech and prize giving and all those things. And
so this is the climax.
This is the climax. I mean, this is actually where we are now having the entire school, like different people from different coming in and all that, diaspora and all that, to come back to the school. And so it's always a pleasure to go back to the school, because you see, even sometimes when I see the architecture of Accra Academy, it looks like a little Legon, and that's the beauty of it. So we're always happy to go back to the school and all that. And my son is going to go to Accra Academy as well. So it's a legacy. And then when he goes to see his father's name as a school prefect in 2000, he will now be motivated to continue that. You understand? So there was a whole argument in my house as to whether he should go, where he will go and all that. In fact, we have to be doing meetings and all that. He himself decided, he said, no, he wants to go to Accra Academy. Yes. No, where would you want to go, to the opposite school, or what? Where do you want to go to?
Oh, Aquinas is there. So
other people can go, no problem. We can go there.
Okay. So before we go, I know the old boys, considering how passionate you still are about your school, can you maybe bragging rights, a little bragging about the projects you have undertaken for your school over the years?
Yeah. Oh yes, I mean, so I said that our year group, for instance, every 30 years is when we take over the speech and prize giving.
Okay.
But we even at the 25th year, which was last year, we began a project where we call the Eco Park, which I'm telling you that it's a beautiful place in the school where you can have greenery and then, no trees play a lot of role in our lives and all that, where you can have people to sit around, which wasn't available at the time. So those were projects. There also been buildings in terms of labs and different labs and all that that have been put up. So there have been a change. When it comes, there was an theft that was done as well for the campus by Asamajan in order to help. Because when it comes to sports and other few things, Accra Academy really produces a lot of them. When it comes to football, boxers, and all that, we have produced a lot of parliamentarians. We have produced speakers of parliament. We are the way back to back, and our thing is back to back. Scientists, neurologists, and all that. You understand? So it's not like people, if you go to Wikipedia, you learn the history of Accra Academy. It tells you. So the pride is there. And when it comes to Jama and in Takoi and all that, those days. When you talk of Lufthansa, those guys who run Alitalia, they were the boys who were running on it's just that we have not had a way of, keeping these people over the years to have joined maybe the national teams and all that. But then that's what Accra Academy has done. And then our anthem too. Our anthem. Maybe before I leave, I'll sing. Our anthem. Yes.
Please very.
Because people make noise about the anthem. There's one that you love. This one you might have not heard. I give my life to Accra, the school which I love. I tell my mother that. Oh, me mau see shaft and me mason. I tell my mother that she will see me no more. If I die in a cracker, I die in blow. Every academician is fighting for his. So when we die in a academy, we are happy to die in blow. So we are telling you that, and you see, sometimes the spirit of a academy said that when you are walking, you walk like that chest, and you know that this is the school that you went to, and self-pride and all that. And we've changed even the bubuashing in terms of the whole dynamics. That when you are looking at prime areas and people that where you can actually focus on, then you are academies in bubuashing and all that. That's the thing of that. Yeah.
Well, beautiful.
Academia Pride, the school of no regret. In her little minds worship to serve our nation great. Oh Lord, to thee we dedicate Accra Academy. Ese kwa we deri we say embo hey. This one is a correct one.
Thank you so much, Bobby.
Yeah.
Richard Abbey Jr. for hyping up the 95th anniversary celebration. So yes, if you're interested, you want to have fun, network, and meet more people, you can join them on Saturday. Yes, that's Saturday 15th.
Yes.
Right. So
from the morning, 7 a.m., we're starting the float.
Okay, so from the float all the way back to campus, Accra Academy boys will be coloring the town yellow and blue. Am I right?
Sharp.
Thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you.
That being said, this brings us to the end of the Koko Digest Morning Show. And a big thank you to everybody that tuned in. A big thank you to all the guests we had. A big thank you to the production team. We hope to see you bright and early on Tuesday morning. Do have an amazing weekend, a Blobby-filled weekend ahead.